You are listening to the University of Miami School of Law podcast, a pre-law resource brought to you by the admissions experts at Miami Law. Visit us on the web at www.law.miami.edu. I'm Joe Matthews. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. I'm Joe Matthews. Today we are very excited to have Harold A. Flegelman, Director of the Graduate Program in Entertainment, Arts, and Sports Law, and Director of the Entertainment Law track, and actually a lecturer in law as well. Thank you for joining us, Harold. How are you?
Thank you for inviting me. I'm fine, Joe. Thank you.
So today we were hoping to get a little bit of insight into the LLM program in Entertainment, Arts, and Sports Law, which I'll go ahead and just say EASL from here on out as a little acronym.
Please do.
And a little background, how did you end up here at Miami Law?
My journey to Miami Law actually started in 2010 when I learned from the dean of the Frost School of Music that the law school was launching a joint degree program whereby a student could get their JD Law degree together with a master's in music business, which I thought was an ingenious idea. And I began teaching as a short course visiting professor in 2011. I subsequently learned about a new graduate program in Entertainment, Arts, and Sports Law, and I joined the school full-time in February of 2015 as the director of the program. I joined here after practicing law for 36 years, the last 15 of which were in the Los Angeles office of Loeb & Loeb. I was the co-chair of the Corporate Entertainment and Media Practice Group, and I was delighted that the law school thought that I could contribute in a meaningful way to the development and teaching of the program.
That you have. Can you explain a little bit about what Entertainment, Arts, and Sports Law is, just in a general sense?
Sure. Entertainment, Arts, and Sports Law is, for us, actually the practice of law in each of those industries. For the school, EASL is a graduate program, a comprehensive graduate program in those areas. We also offer a joint degree program for students, which would allow them to obtain their JD degree and their LLM degree in 7 semesters rather than 8.
So here at the law school, the admissions office, I think 1 out of every 4 students I come across, they want to be a sports attorney. For some reason, sports law and entertainment law are very, very fascinating to students. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think that entertainment law and sports law are misunderstood by a number of people, and I say that without sarcasm. The idea of entertainment, arts, and sports law attracts prospective students because they see an element of glamour in those practice areas. Mm-hmm. I've had many students come to me who said that ever since they saw the movie Jerry Maguire, they wanted to be Jerry Maguire. I've also had students tell me that they want to be entertainment lawyers because they love movies. And there's nothing wrong with loving movies. And I've met Lee Steinberg, who was the model for Jerry Maguire, very interesting guy. But what I think people need to understand, and what we are dedicated to educating them in, is that entertainment law, arts law, sports law is really the practice of law in those fields. It is not an invitation to Oscar parties. It is not an invitation to Grammy parties. It is not an invitation to sports law or Super Bowl parties. I practiced for 36 years in these fields, and I never went to an Oscar party. And it's not that I might not have deserved to go, but it's just it's not part of what lawyers in these industries necessarily do, and that's what we want students to understand. I think one of the reasons that Miami's program appeals is that we are the only law school, still the only law school, offering a combined degree in all 3 fields. And that distinguishes us from every other law school and university that I know of.
And why does Miami do that? Why is there a combination of the program?
Well, the combined degree was designed to reflect the commercial reality, which is that the 3 industries, entertainment, arts, and sports law, are no longer distinguishable from one another in the way that they once were. What I like to say is that the 3 industries are converging in an inescapable, irreversible way The lines that once separated entertainment, arts, and sports have really all but disappeared, and the examples of that are with us every day. When Katy Perry does a shoe deal, is that really entertainment, or is that celebrity branding? Is that corporate? When former professional football players enter into deals to produce television, when Carrie Underwood signs a joint venture with Dick's Sporting Goods to launch a line of activewear. Is that music? Is that sports? Is it neither? Is it both? Does it really matter anymore? Technology has reinvented the production and distribution of content. And the lawyer who is best prepared to understand all of those fields is the lawyer who is best to compete in those industries.
So let's take a step back for a second. Your program is an LLM, a Master's in Law, correct?
The graduate program is a Master's in Law, which can be obtained in 2 semesters of study.
And a JD student, a student who wants to go just to law school, they can also do a joint program and do the LLM alongside with the JD.
Correct. And in fact, they can do that with careful planning in 7 semesters rather than 8, which saves them time and money.
So is there a specific track students can choose within the program? So let's say they want to do specifically sports law. I know that might not be the smartest route as things are converging, as you said, but can they do that?
They could if they want. There are 3 tracks in the program: entertainment, arts, and sports. Candidly, those designations are mostly for organizational purposes. Our goal, even for a person who expresses an interest, let's say in entertainment law, is to make sure that they have had the opportunity to be exposed to courses that might be centered in the arts track or the sports track, but are nevertheless desirable for their development as attorneys in the field.
And so you are the director of the entertainment law track.
Correct.
Who are the directors of the sports and art programs?
The director of the sports track is Peter Carfagna. We are beyond delighted that he makes himself available to us in that capacity. He practiced for many years as a partner at a very prominent law firm in Cleveland. He was also the general counsel of the IMG agency, very prominent sports group. He now owns and manages a group called Magus in Cleveland, which is a private equity fund, which continues to be involved in all aspects of the sports area. He teaches at Harvard, he teaches here, he is available to the students. We're very lucky to have him. Professor Stephen Urise, who is on the permanent faculty and has been for quite a number of years, is the director of the arts track. There is probably not a more reliable expert in this area than Stephen. We are also very fortunate that he takes the time to add these responsibilities to his already busy schedule. He has worked in museums, directed museums, and so he brings all of those experiences to the position, and the students love him for it.
So you have quite an extensive resume and experience in entertainment law. What, being a practicing attorney, do you see as the value in doing this program?
Well, the value in doing the program is that we are focused on 3 areas, which are sometimes overlooked, one or the other. We are focused on the substantive law. I've said all my career that the best deal lawyers are the persons who know not only the deal but also know the law. We also offer a wide variety of elective courses which address topics that are current and of a high level of interest and taught by prominent visiting faculty, prominent practitioners in the field. And we are also laser focused on practical skills training, because the reality is that law firms, corporations, and clients are no longer willing, in most cases, to invest the time or the money in training young associates. And as a result, Miami Law School has taken on that responsibility. And we have said, okay, then we'll be responsible for training students to practice to be client ready when they graduate.
What's an example of practical skills development?
Well, negotiating and drafting are a requirement for the degree. I teach negotiating and drafting for mergers and acquisitions and private equity and venture capital. Professor Urice teaches negotiating and drafting for arts law transactions. Professor Carfagna teaches courses in representing the pre-professional athlete and the professional athlete in negotiating and drafting for sports venue agreements. There are numerous examples of the courses that we offer in that area, and in fact, we feel so strongly about this that we have made it a requirement for the degree.
Miami is a very international city, kind of the gateway to South America. Is there any international aspects to this program?
Absolutely. We are keenly aware of the global economy in which we live. Miami has positioned itself, and rightly so, as the gateway to Latin America. We are focused on courses that deal with doing business in Latin America, both from a general perspective and from a specific perspective. Those courses are available for credit to all of the students, and we encourage them to become involved.
So you said that this is really the only program that combines all of those tracks into one specific program.
That is correct.
Is there a way? So what if a student wants to come to Miami Law but practice in California or Arizona or New York? Can they do that with this program?
Yes. Our view is that the subject matter and the style of teaching will prepare them to practice wherever they want. And in fact, we have told students that they will be well served if they remain geographically agnostic, or at least willing to travel. I'm asked frequently that question: shouldn't I be in Los Angeles if I want to practice entertainment law? And my answer is this: Los Angeles is larger than Miami, and it always will be. I think that Miami is growing faster than Los Angeles. And I also think that students should consider not only the demand side of the equation, but also the supply side of the equation. Because although there may be, by the numbers, more job opportunities in Los Angeles, it's likely that there are more people chasing those jobs. There might be fewer job openings in Miami, but there are fewer people looking for them. So we're training students to practice wherever the work is. And what we're also telling them is that Miami is growing as a center for entertainment, arts, and sports, and they should be mindful of that.
Is there anything in Miami that you really are drawn to? Something you've really enjoyed?
There are a number of things that we've really enjoyed. Miami has a great vibrancy. It's heterogeneous. And from a professional point of view, I continue to be impressed by the growth of the entertainment, arts, and sports industries here. From a social point of view, it's been great. We love it here.
I recall, I think maybe you told me, is it true that you play the drums? You're a drummer?
It is true that I played the drums with what I thought was a high level of proficiency. It is also true that playing the drums is not as much like riding a bike as you might think. I still play whenever I can, but I have come to grips with the fact that I will not play at the same level that I did 40 years ago, which is probably good for everyone.
Well, if you want to start up a band,
yes.
Just putting it out there, let me know. Pull up my trombone.
Oh, there you go. Well, looking forward to that.
Is there anything exciting about the program on the horizon that you want to talk about?
Oh, absolutely. We have reimagined the program effective immediately to allow international students to graduate with a degree in entertainment, arts, and sports law, and also have taken the courses that would be necessary to qualify them to sit for the New York bar exam. This is a major development for us, and we are hopeful that it will make the program increasingly interesting to international students, and by that I mean students who have a foreign law degree. The opportunity to sit for the New York bar, I have come to learn, is a very high priority for a number of students with law degrees from foreign universities. And by making that opportunity available to them together with the EASL LLM, We hope to reach a larger number of students who are interested in the degree but who might otherwise have been put off by the nature of our requirements and the inability to get the needed courses within the two-semester structure.
So application requirements aside, what if you're a incoming JD student? You're going to apply for your first year.
Right.
Does that student apply with their initial application, or should they apply in their second year or third year?
If you come in as a JD student, and while you're here, develop an interest in entertainment, arts, and sports law, we accept applications to the joint degree program in the second semester of your second year. If you are interested in the program at the time that you are applying for admission as a JD student, we ask that you simply indicate on your application that you have that interest. What we have initiated and found to be very appealing to a certain core group of students who are convinced that they know exactly what it is that they want to do even at that early stage in their career is to offer what we call early admission. A student with a compelling application who expresses an interest in entertainment, arts, and sports law will be considered for acceptance into the program at the same time that they are accepted into the law school. The advantage to that is that we watch them a little more closely. We make ourselves available to them a little earlier as they design their first year curriculum to the extent that they have the option to do so, and more importantly to the extent that they can avail themselves of our advice and input as they design their second and third year curriculum. We've had great success. We admitted 7 students this last fall on an early admission basis. They know that we're available to them at any time, and they're very excited about what they're doing, and we have already offered 3 students early admission for the coming year.
So one of the unique aspects of this program is that the course curriculum is also made available to the JD students. In other words, you don't have to be specifically an LLM master's student in the program to sign up for these classes. So what is the value in simply just taking the classes as one of your quote-unquote electives versus being an actual student in the program?
Well, there are several. It's true that many of the core courses are available to JD students. Many of the elective courses are not available. One of the advantages to enrolling in either the joint degree program or the LLM program is that you will be provided with a broader and deeper exposure to the subject matter than you would if you only took the JD, because you'll have more time, and that particularly applies to the extra time that you would have to take what I call the crossover courses. For example, a student enrolled in the arts track, we feel, would benefit from taking a course like negotiating and drafting sports venue agreements. A student in the sports track would have some advantage in taking my course in venture capital and private equity investing. In addition, we make available to students in the program mentors, typically local practitioners who can advise them with regard to their career paths. We also offer site visits to local companies and sports organizations. We have guest speakers who come in to talk to the students about career choices, career opportunities, curriculum choices. And we also offer tutorials. These are really short courses, if you will, where practitioners who are not necessarily here for an entire 1-credit course will speak on a subject like media psychology, or sports in the media, or the music business, or sports agenting. And those elements are not available to the JD students, although they can certainly take many of the same courses and they can become educated in that regard. There are additional opportunities that are available to the students enrolled in the program that would not be available if you were simply in the JD program. And finally, students in the program are required to undertake a practicum, which is typically a 6-week off-site job with a company or a law firm or a client in their field. We think that this is an essential part of their education. It introduces them to the opportunity for additional networking and the building of contacts. It may lead to a permanent job. Most important, it gives them an opportunity to work in an environment off campus that will introduce them to what will be expected of them when they are working once they have their degree.
That's exciting stuff.
We're very encouraged. The practica have been very good experiences for the students, and all have made mention of the fact that even in situations where a permanent job was not forthcoming, it certainly offered them a unique opportunity to increase their networking and build their contact base.
And their practical skills development.
And their practical skills development, for sure.
Where can curious students go to get more information on your program?
The easiest way to find information about the program is on the website. If you go to the law.miami.edu website and click on programs, you'll find Entertainment, Arts, and Sports Law with a very good description of not only the tracks, but also our mission and how we feel that we can make good on our promises. If there is interest, there is an email address that they can direct questions to, and we will respond promptly. And we are also available on an individual basis. I spend a good amount of my time speaking to prospective applicants, and I'm delighted to do it. If they send me an email directly, we'll make time to talk to them.
And I should add that Professor Flegelman travels a lot to speak about this program. So if they go onto our website and see recruiting events on the main law.miami.edu, there will be a list of places around the U.S. and abroad where you and individuals from your program will be speaking about this program in great detail. So definitely take a look at that. Well, thank you so much for coming in. We're so pleased to have had you speak about your program, and hopefully we can get you back to talk about some new things that you're going to have coming up.
I will be delighted to come back, and the pleasure was mine.
We'll bring in the drum set.
We'll bring in the drum set.
If you would like to reach Professor Flegelman, you're welcome to also contact my office. You can email me at admissions@law.miami.edu for further information. You go onto our website at law.miami.edu and click onto programs, and you'll see under the Masters in Law section, actually the Entertainment, Arts, and Sports Law track in full detail. There are several people you can contact through their office or my office if you want just general information. Thank you so much for coming in. It's a pleasure to have spoken to you, and we hope to see you very soon.
Thank you for inviting me.
The University of Miami School of Law Office of Admissions and Student Recruitment offers open house events, tours of the law school, class visits, and advice about applying to Miami Law. The office also maintains a pre-law headquarters website and a prospective student website, which includes a wonderful resource, 29 critical questions. To speak or have an advising session with a member of the University of Miami Law Student Recruitment Team, please contact the Director, Therese Lambert, Associate Director, Joe Matthews, or Assistant Director, Humberto Duarte, at the Office of Student Recruitment in room F203 of the Law School, or at 305-284-6746.